We'll be starting in just a few moments. Just a few moments. Thanks for those of you who have just jumped on the stream. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We're going to get right into it. I trust that everyone has had a fantastic weekend so far. I mean, it's a Sunday. I know y'all looking forward. Then again, maybe you're not. But it's still coming, just like winter. But I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I'm excited about the topic tonight. I want you guys to buckle down and put your seatbelt on. This might trigger some of you, but it is a topic that needs to be discussed. You see the topic, SWAT effect. That means special women and tactics. We're going to talk about exactly what that means tonight. Not to insult, but simply to inform. And I thank you again for jumping on the stream tonight. Let's just relax and buckle in. See of that. And we're going to get right into it. Moderator, put number 1 in the chat box if you can hear me clearly. I will be turning the music down just a little bit, a few octaves as we start, but if you can hear my voice clearly, please put a number 1 in the chat box. Let's go. Put a number 1 in the chat box if you can hear my voice clearly. Moderator. Moderator, put a number 1 in the chat box if you can hear my voice clearly. Thank you. Shout out to Gail, shout out to Abdul for jumping on the stream tonight. Appreciate you. Let's get right into it. I think, again, like I've always said, in every stream, I think those of you that get on the stream while I'm live, I heard from a member tonight that let me know that 9 o'clock was a better time. Shout out to Chris for that advice. I do hope that you get on the stream at some point tonight. If you do, thank you for your time and jumping on the stream. I appreciate that advice. Again, I was looking at a later time frame. I was looking at a later time frame, trying to accommodate the members. That's really what I was doing. Again, understand this, that as I increase the time, it affects my time as well. But your time, for me, is more important as it relates to these streams and as it relates to these talking points. Whatever's comfortable for you, whatever makes you more available is what I'm willing to do. I wouldn't care if it was 11 p.m. I would do it at 11 p.m. if you told me in large numbers. Not onesie twosies, obviously. But if you told me in larger numbers that 11 o'clock is better, if you told me at 10:30 was better, I would accommodate and adjust my schedule so that I could still do the stream for you to make it more available for you so that you could get the stream, get on the stream. Again, it's more important that you hear the stream. It's not important about how I'm inconvenienced by the time frame of the stream. I'll inconvenience myself if you let me know the time that's comfortable for you in larger numbers. Now, again, I'm going to need more than 1 or 2 people to say that, all right? Without your input, I decided 9 p.m. would probably be better. But if you guys let me know that a later time is even better, I'll do that. Okay? Well, again, what's important is that you get the opportunity where you're freed up to hear the stream. That's most important, you know? Not talking into an echo chamber. Again, I'm not going anywhere. So if you catch it while I'm live or if you catch it after I'm finished, it's all good with me. Again, I hope everyone had a fantastic afternoon and evening, and I know you're settling yourself in, getting ready for the mundane activities of Monday through Friday, which we all have to suffer every week just to take care of ourselves or feed our families. So I understand, I get it. So I'm not going to hold you long. I'm not going to be long, but I promise you I am going to be strong in the message tonight. You see the topic, the S.W.A effect, special women and tactics. I tried to make fun and light of the title by giving you the S.W.A theme in the beginning. I'm pretty sure many of you remember that theme. We all loved S.W.A when we were coming up. That's the original theme song to the S.W.A series that we saw when we were growing up. I think they still tend to use a derivative of that same theme, even with the new version of S.W.A. But that's not really what this subject title is about tonight. It's not talking about the movie at all. It's talking about special women and tactics. What does that mean? All too often, with any subject title, especially more importantly now, recently, in recent times, where men are starting to speak about what they want. The idea of just having the audacity to speak about what they want has given special women that believe they should not have to be told anything. It's given them a platform, and it's given them the strength to say, well, I don't want to hear what he has to say. I don't want to hear anything about these topics. Who does he think he is? What gives him the right? Those are good questions, because what gives me the right? You're right. What gives me the right? I'm going to tell you who gave me the right. Just like every other content creator, just like every other man who has a platform to speak about the things that men want. I'm going to tell you who gave them the right. Ladies, you did. You did. You gave them the right to speak. You gave them the right to say what they say. Not because it's designed to hurt you. Not because it's designed to hurt your feelings, although your feelings still may get hurt. It's not designed to hurt your feelings. I'm not talking about men who wish to bash women. No, I'm not talking about them. In fact, I don't have any room in my life for men who bash women. I have no room at all, nor do I have any patience. I don't subscribe, nor do I endorse, nor do I support men who do that. This is not a bash women platform, not at all. Although the talking points may make you believe that's what it's doing, it's not. It's really not. Because if you listen with a critical ear, an ear absent from emotion, you'll find that the talking points are really to help and not to hurt. So it's not about bashing. It's really not about bashing you. It's really more about you taking accountability for the talking points that are being spoken, which I find to be the hardest thing for you ladies to do. You find it very difficult to take accountability, and I understand. I understand why. Because for years, women, black women in particular, you have been insulated, protected against accountability and against positive critique as it relates to behavior, attitudes, and as it relates to attitudes and behaviors that brought about outcomes that you find unfavorable. You have not been responsible or have not been subjected to criticism. No one's criticized you. No one's exposed the bad behavior that's led to the outcomes that you've received. So I understand. I get it. I really understand why it's such a painful pill to swallow. I get it. I do. It's like you having children and letting them do whatever they want to do. as often as they choose to do it, and never bringing them to the table of accountability for their own behavior and actions. Even though you found yourself upset when they did it, you didn't say anything. You didn't like it. You were irritated by it for a long period of time until finally you just couldn't take it anymore, right? And then you said, you know what? That's it. Stop it. You heard what I said. Sit down. Blah, 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 and blah, 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 right? You begin to start voicing what you want. And because they never heard you do that, what do? In most cases, many of you that have children, you've experienced the outburst, right? Against you all of a sudden, out of nowhere, beginning to express what you want when times before that, you said nothing. So they were free to move and do as they please. Well, this is the place where we find ourselves at today, where women are concerned, where the modern woman is concerned, our women, black women in particular, where we find ourselves at today with these talking points. Again, these talking points are not designed to hurt. Nah, not at all. They're designed to get men the outcomes that they want as it relates to you, and it's designed to get you the outcomes that you want, that you say you want, if you would but listen. If you would but listen and not fight. If you can resist the urge to do what you've always done when you've heard something that you disagreed with, and that is put forth sign language, shame, insult. These are tactics. Shaming tactics, insulting tactics, guilt tactics, and the need to be right. If you can put away these tactics, stop thinking that you yourself personally are so special that you remove yourself from the idea of being criticized for bad behavior, or from the lack of being qualified to be called what's known as a wife. I mean, again, this platform is designed for women who are looking for real results. If you're not looking for real results, I want to say to you, if you're not looking for real results in terms of relationship, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. In fact, you can log off right now. You can dismembership yourself from this platform. If I'm not talking to you, remove your membership. I'm not looking for membership. I'm looking for results. That's what I'm looking for. Results. And I want you, ladies, if you want something different than what you've already gotten in terms of outcomes, I want you to be result oriented. I want you to be result oriented. I want you to want results, positive results, as it relates to what you say you want. Otherwise, stop lying. If you don't want results, if you just simply want to go on and finish floating on through life with the same results that you've already gotten, if they weren't positive, okay, fine. If you're okay with negative results, then yeah, you're right. This platform is not for you. You can dismembership yourself. I'm not thirsty for sycophants. And I know you know what a sycophant is. I'm not looking for everyone to agree with what I say. No, not at all. Not at all. That would make this whole talking point very uninteresting. If I was looking for everyone to agree with what I said, that means I have some kind of Napoleon complex. That means I'm looking to just simply be, and I have a control issue. My control issue is not about you believing everything I say. No, not at all. But I will tell you this, if you disagree, you better do exactly what I do. You better come with information, and then you better come behind that same information with resource to back up your disagreement. Otherwise, you make a fool out of yourself. I'm looking to see results in our community. I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what you want. You only know what you want. That's why in every stream I ask you, what is it that you want? What is it that you want? Not what you disagree with, not what you're willing to argue about, not what you're willing to act as if you're in denial about or delusion about or anything like that. No, no, no. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, what do you want? Because at the end of the day, all of us want something, but be honest about it. Be honest about what it is that you actually want as it relates to relationships. As it relates to relationships. Wanting something of value as it relates to relationships is non-financial. Understand that. Has nothing to do with what he can purchase for you or buy for you or what you can benefit from on a financial level or materialistic level. It has nothing to do with that. What do you really want as it relates to the intangibles? And again, like I always say in every stream, do you qualify? Why? What do you mean qualify? I'm glad you asked. Because what you need to qualify in terms of a man keeping you is not what you have on your anatomy. No. Because that comes standard with all equipment. That comes standard with every model. What do I mean by that? That means every woman on the planet, regardless of their nationality, regardless of their geographical location, anatomy comes standard with every model. What's the intangibles, what you cannot see with the naked eye? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? And what makes you so special? Special women and tactics. What makes you so special? Why and what makes you stand apart from the crowd that you see every single day? What makes you special from any other woman that you find, no matter where they are? Why are you special? Why are you special? You need to ask yourself that question, especially if you're in a relationship right now. If you're in a relationship with a man right now, what's special about you that keeps him coming home to you? Remember, we're talking about special women and the tactics. SWAT effect. What makes you special outside of all the women that he runs into on a day-to-day basis? See, here's what society has told women. Because, again, women, the society doesn't care about relationships. They stand to benefit more financially by you being single. In fact, I should take that back. I should really revise that statement, because they stand to benefit more by you being with another woman as opposed to being with a man. What? Now, mind you, I'm not in no judgment against those of you who decide an alternative lifestyle. So don't misread what I just said. Here's what I am saying though. Women spend more money collectively together than a couple, heterosexual couple, meaning a man and a woman. Why? Because in a heterosexual relationship, there's what's called structure. There's not a whole lot of loose, reckless spending going on. Not in most cases. Where there's a healthy male and female relationship, you don't have a whole lot of reckless spending. But in two women together, there's a whole lot of reckless spending. That's why they tend to live as a group if they're together. So, who benefits more from an economic standpoint? It's the government. That's why they're pushing the narrative for you guys to be together as opposed to heterosexual relationship. And I know for some of you, you might think me saying that is preposterous. Just keep living a little bit longer. You're going to see exactly what I'm saying. Keep living a little bit longer and pay attention to what's going on all around you and in the media and in the news and in movies and in series. And you tell me, what are they trying to drive home, and what are they trying to push, and what are they trying to make the norm? What are they trying to normalize? Are they trying to normalize a healthy heterosexual relationship? Some of you know what I'm saying is correct. They are not trying to normalize a heterosexual relationship. You know that. And what's really sad is many of you, you're not trying to normalize a heterosexual relationship yourself. Some of you that are in heterosexual relationships, you're just as toxic as a toxic waste dump site. And you've heard me say it many times. You're not even trying to make the heterosexual relationship that you're in last. Nor are you trying to make it survive. SWAT team effect is in play. Special women and tactics. You believe that your behavior should not be noticed or looked at or even acknowledged in the sense that anyone has anything to say about it. You want to behave outside of what's normal to a productive relationship with impunity, with no response whatsoever from the men that you say you want. They're supposed to just take it and endure it. And, oh yeah, I forgot. If you love me, you'll accept me as I am. Really? Why should he accept you as you are? I know you think it's special that he's supposed to accept you as you are. But let me ask you a question, ladies. Do you accept him as he is? I beg to differ. Because as long as you're convenienced, in most cases, in most relationships, as long as you are convenienced, and as long as he don't slip too much to the left or to the right, you're good. He's okay. He can get a pass. So, but you still put stipulations on what you consider, quote unquote, the deal breakers. Am I right or wrong? You put deal breakers on his behavior. Where's the deal breaker on yours? All too often, you never hear men talk about deal breakers as it relates to women. You never hear about that. But women always got these deal breakers. For some of you, the deal he should have broke was when he met you. Oh, I know some of y'all triggered. I don't care. You know you're a deal breaker. Some of you, you've been a deal breaker since day one. But you've put all the responsibility on him. And you've made him believe that if he went too far to the left or too far to the right, that was the deal breaker for you. As if you controlled relationships and as if you controlled marriage. So you had no responsibility to take in your behavior. There was nothing for you to do. There was no work required of you in your relationship. For some of you that hear these talking points, it will work for you in your favor. And for some of you, you will simply remain, for lack of better words, stupid. That's what I said, stupid. Some of you will simply just remain stupid and alone because you will refuse to hear anything that's going to get you out of the position of feeling as though you yourself are so special that you don't have any work to do. I got sad news for you. Well, good news for some, bad news for others. You got work to do, and you got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. For you to get the men that you say you want. Like I said in a previous stream, you have competition on all three levels. There's levels to this. On an average level. Well, what is the average level? I'm glad you asked. I'll repeat it again. The average level, meaning the average man makes between $41,000 to $42,500 annually. And this is not you trying to be a fixer, trying to make him make more than what he is. I'm talking about $41,000 to $42,000 for a lifetime. That's the average black man. That's what he makes. That's what he makes. $41,000 to $42,500 annually for a lifetime. Okay, let's find out what you make. Because some of y'all that think y'all balling, you're really not. The average income for a black woman in the United States right now, currently, is between $31,000 and $32,500. At best, $36,000 to $37,000 a year. You don't believe me? Go to blackdemographics.com. for black people, by black people. That way you don't have to blame me and say it's my opinion. Yeah. 36 to 37,000 at its highest level. That's the annual income for black women. Right? That's the average. Let's talk about the middle class. The middle class, black men, 64% sit in the middle class. Of that same, 51% are single and childless. Oh yeah, for some of you that didn't know that, 51% of the entire population of black men are single and childless. But they also sit in the financial arena at middle class at 64%. Now, let's talk about the men you want. You average sisters. I'm talking to you. And it's amazing how 85% of the black female population wants the percentage of men that I'm about to talk about right now. This is what you want. You special ones. This is what you want. You want the men that make and that sit in the top 15 and 10% of money earners in the country. That's what you want. And what you never calculated is what they want. They're in arenas of their life that you have never qualified to be in. What do I mean by qualifying? Can he take you to the art gallery without you embarrassing him because of your behavior, your etiquette, your conversation, how you carry yourself? Can he? Or will he be embarrassed? Can he take you to the mayor's ball? I'm talking to you that want the top 10 and 15% of money earners in the country. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you while you bypass the 85%. You're going to hear me keep talking about this over and over and over. Why? Because you keep doing it. That's why I'm doing it. But can he take you to the mayor's ball? And can he introduce you to the mayor if he knows the mayor personally? Can he introduce you to the mayor's friends and the mayor's contacts and constituents? Can he do that without embarrassing himself? Can you fit into an environment like that without embarrassing him? Can you? Can you live with a man who makes $100,000 to $200,000 or $300,000 a year, knowing that his ability to maintain that kind of income will require so much of his time that he'll be gone more than he is home? Can you live with that? Do you want him more than you want the lifestyle? Which one do you want? Do you want him or do you want the lifestyle? To my sad regret, I think many of you want the lifestyle more than you want the man. But can you handle the man if you get him? If you were thrown into a room with men that you want on that level, would they pick you? Would they pick you? Would they find you adequate enough to marry? Would they do that? Or would you end up becoming a side chick? For some of you that are very attractive, many of you, a lot of our sisters, very attractive. Unmarriageable, but very attractive. Side chicks. You see them in your own neighborhood. Very attractive. Very attractive. And they have men of means. And these men are paying their car note. These men are paying their rent. These men are doing a lot of things for them financially. A man will spend what he can afford. He will never spend what hurts him. When a man begins to spend what hurts him, he's spending it for his wife. When he spends what he can afford, it's because you're not his wife. I'm gonna let that one sink in just for a second. And that's for those of you that think you're winning. For those of you that think you're special, if you're in situations like that, you're not winning. You've lost a long time ago. You have no idea. You've lost a long time ago. A long time ago. Long time ago. So, with that being said, what do you want? What do you want going forward? What do you really want going forward? Do you want to simply have a badge that you can brag about in terms of having meaningless relationships where the man never stays? You're dating endlessly. You've become a serial dater. You find yourself boxed in at clubs. You find yourself boxed in at events. Oh yeah, you get a whole lot of attention. But do you get a whole lot of retention? No, you don't. You get a whole lot of attention, but you don't get a whole lot of retention. Retention is way more important than attention. Who's keeping you? Who's keeping you? Ladies, these talking points are meant to change the dynamics going forward. It is. I am the only person on Facebook doing this, and you know it. You know it. You know it. But you're watching a lot of people on Facebook. You're paying attention to a lot of things on Facebook. You represent the SWAT team. You know? You're the special women in tactics. But yet you've never been able to come up with a good tactical idea, a tactical plan to change the outcomes that you've already experienced. You're a SWAT team member. Oh, yes, you are. You're definitely a SWAT team member. You're a special woman with tactics. But have you come up with a tactical idea, a tactical plan about how to change the outcomes that you experience going forward? Have you done that? Or are you sticking to the same playbook? Are you sticking to the same playbook? You know the playbook is not working. Some of your SWAT team members that you're with, they should have been kicked off the force. But they're still there. They're still there. They're like a local cop that's not required to exercise. So he gets overweight and still remains on the force. You already know he's not going to chase you. He's going to take the easy route. He's going to simply shoot. What easy route are you taking? SWAT team member, what are you taking? What easy route are you taking? Since accountability, again, is like acid reflux, and it's like kryptonite. What tactic are you taking? You're a special woman with tactics. So what tactical plan do you have going forward? Do you have one? Do you have one? Because if you don't, how do you intend to defend yourself against an opposing line? How do you intend to defend your line against an opposer? How do you intend to defend yourself? How do you intend to do that? Some of you right now, you're not listening to your husband right now, if you have one. You're not listening to him. You're not listening to your fiance if you have one. And some of you, you're not listening to your boyfriend if you have one. You're not listening to anyone if you have one. You are on a SWAT team with no tactical plan. You're a special woman with no tactics. No tactical plan about how to secure yourself going forward into the future. I told you in earlier streams, there's only two things that's going to happen going forward, ladies. You don't have to believe me today in 2022, but what I'm saying to you right now, I promise you my voice will be a haunting sound in your ear going forward into the future. You will make two decisions. And those two decisions will be, one, you will either find out the importance of having a man in your life that you can get to the end of life with, or you will have to decide to resort to compound living. That means you and a few women, for those of you that didn't hear the stream where I talked about compound living, you will resort to living with other women, and you all sharing multiple rooms in a home that you all come together with financially to purchase, or sharing the rent in an apartment. And then all of you on the days that you don't have to go to work, piling up on a long couch, eating popcorn, cookies, or whatever it is that you choose to eat, and watching Netflix and chill. That's your fate. Outside of that, I'll tell you what's available for you. Tent farms. Tent farms. Not just in New Jersey, but in New York. Not just in New York, but in Chicago. Not just in Chicago, but California and Texas and Florida. All throughout the United States, tent farms are going up all over the country. Even outside of the country, tent farms are going up. Do your research. Look at what it looks like in Japan for single women. Just do your research. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Do your research. Do your research. While you're mad, do the research with your lips tight. Do the research. Find out if I'm correct in what I'm saying to you. Look at the research. Look at what's going on in Japan. Look at what's going on in China with single women. Pay attention. Look at what's going on. And then I want you to come back from overseas in your research. And I want you to look at what's going on here in the United States. Do your research again. Don't get mad at me again. Don't say, I can't stand this guy. Oh, he make me sick. I wish he'd stop talking about this stuff. No, I wish you'd start thinking. Don't worry about me stop talking, because I'm going to continue talking. But I wish you'd start thinking, because I want to see the right outcomes come to you as well. While you think, I'm not your enemy. I promise you that. I am not your enemy, ladies. I'm not your enemy. You're your enemy. You're your own enemy by not wanting to look into the talking points that I'm saying. If you want to jump up and down and get mad like a kid having a tantrum, you know, all children, when they're being disciplined by their parents, they believe their parents don't love them. They think when they do something wrong and the parents address them with discipline, which could mean a spanking, or, you know, you remember when you were little, when your parents came to you and approached you with something you did wrong. They approached you with a belt. For some of us, with a switch, right? For some of us, with a extension cord. I don't approve of that one. That's more like child abuse, but you know what I'm saying. But when it happened, what did you think immediately? You thought, they don't love me. You never thought about the fact that you ate every single night. You never thought the fact that when it was time to go to school, you had new school clothes. You never thought that you had gifts on Christmas if you celebrated the holiday. You never thought that on birthdays you were rewarded with a gift. You never thought. See, all the things you were given without having to necessarily earn it, you never gave a second thought to it. It's only when you were called to the carpet for what you did wrong that you began to then project the activity and the actions against you, against the person that was doing it. Ain't that funny how the human brain works? Because I remember when I was a kid, I used to think the same thing. When it was time for me to get a spanking, I always thought my mother didn't love me. And I guarantee you, many of you that hear this stream, you know you thought the same thing. That's why these talking points affect you so much. Because your response to it, your reflex, knee-jerk response is to say, who does he think he is? He talks like he's perfect. Was your mother perfect when she spanked you? No. How about your father? Was he perfect? For those of you that had a father there, was he perfect when he spanked you? No. What was he addressing? What was she addressing? Meaning your mother and father. They were addressing what? Bad behavior. So if these talking points address bad behavior, why take the position that the addressing of bad behavior is an attack on you personally? Why not take the mature route and say, you know what? How much of what he's saying is true? And does it apply to me? You know, the old saying that we always said, if the shoe fits, wear it. But if the shoe doesn't fit, then that means it doesn't apply to you, correct? So why are you so upset? If the shoe doesn't fit, why are you mad? Are you mad that it doesn't fit? Or should you be excited that it doesn't? You gotta pick. You gotta pick. Ladies, you gotta pick. What are you exactly upset about? Are you excited because you believe that you're so special, that you are removed from any accountability, or you're removed from any critique, and that now your tactics that you've used all this time have been exposed? Special women in tactics. What tactics have you used to insulate yourself from being critiqued? Again, like I said, I'm not your enemy, but you do have one. You do have one. It's not me, but you do have one. I promise you that. You have one. The enemy is probably right next door to you. The enemy is probably upstairs from you. The enemy is probably downstairs from you. The enemy is right at your job. The enemy is the women that you hang with, who are not getting the outcomes that you know you want. And I'm talking for those of you that want better outcomes. I'm not talking to you that don't care about the outcomes. I'm not talking to you that have a problem with the talking points. I'm not talking to you. Just understand, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the women who want better outcomes. That's who I'm talking to. Ladies, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, those of you that want a husband. I'm talking to you that want better relationships. I'm talking to you that want to see a better outcome, and not only in your own life, but outside, when you look outside your own window. I'm talking to you. And if I get 5 of you on any given night, that's a great night. For those of you that don't want better outcomes, again, I wish I could say it louder. I'm not talking to you. So don't think you're doing anybody a favor. I'm not talking to you. In fact, dismember yourself from this channel, because this channel is about women that want better outcomes. This channel is about women that want good relationships. This channel is about women that believe we are better together than we are separated and apart. This channel is for you, ladies. Anybody else? Get off my goddamn channel. I'm not that desperate. I want members who want better outcomes. Understand that. I could do something different, but I want to see better outcomes for us as a black community, as myself, as a black man, those of us that want you, ladies, and for you that want better outcomes yourself as it relates to relationships. That's who this channel is for. I'm talking to you. This is a men's channel. For those of you that don't want that, get off my channel. show you better than I can show you better than I can say it. I am not that concerned, nor am I that desperate. I believe better outcomes are worth more than membership. Way more than membership. Special women who believe they don't need to take accountability, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to the SWAT team. I'm not talking to the SWAT team. The SWAT team effect has gotten us the problems that we find ourselves in right to this day. I'm not talking to the SWAT team. I'm talking to the fit, feminine, friendly, easy to get along with. I'm talking to the ladies that know how to give a man a good experience, not a great adventure. I'm talking about a good experience, not a great adventure. Great adventure ends, but a good experience could last for a lifetime. I'm talking to you, ladies. And I'm talking to you that if you have not done that for the men you are with, I'm trying to give you a cheat code. Don't get mad, get better. I'm trying to give you a cheat code. Do better, get better. Keep your relationships. For those of you that are already married and you're thinking or contemplating about divorce, take it off the table. Take it off the table. Go to counseling. If you're unhappy in your relationship, that's okay. That's what happens in a relationship. You become unhappy. It comes with ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows, ups and downs. That's all right. It's supposed to happen that way. Stop being so quick to quit. Stop being so quick to quit. And push your husband, push your man into the arms of another woman. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Work, fight for your relationship. Fight for your marriage. Fight like hell for your marriage. Fight like hell for your relationship. Because there's so many more fighting to break up your relationship. I promise you that. I promise you that. This is about relationships. We are better together than we are apart. Get the SWAT team out of your life. Get the SWAT team out of your life. That's those special women with tactics. Get them out of your life. And if you're a SWAT team member, resign. Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you're a SWAT team member, resign. 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 There is no retirement package for a SWAT team member. There is no Social Security for a SWAT team member. There's no 401k for a SWAT team member. You die alone as a SWAT team member. 1 in 4 will marry in a lifetime, which means 3 SWAT team members will die by themselves. Are you a SWAT team member? Or are you ready to resign from your SWAT team membership? Or do you want to just stay mad? Stay angry, stay upset, stay avoiding my page, my group, or stay avoiding other groups that speak like me. Is that your decision? Is that your solution? If it is, you'll retire as a SWAT team member. And you'll have 2 alternatives, like I said earlier. You will either be one of 3 that will die alone, or you'll have to resort to what's called compound living. It's your decision. It's your decision. Again, there is no man that's going to argue, nor are they going to fight and wrestle with you to change your mind if that's your choice. I believe in the women's right to choose. I do. And if that is your choice, all I can say to you is, bravo. I hope that works out for you. I hope that works out for you. I hope that works out for you. But the stats are against you. A single woman by herself, it's very difficult to survive to the end of life. By herself with one income. Very difficult. I'm not talking to you that have a PhD. I'm not talking to you that have an MS or a BS or any other bullshit degree. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those that represent the 85%. And the 85% of black women, like I said, make $31,000 to $32,500. At its highest level, $37,000 a year. I'm talking to them. That's who I'm talking to. The ones that are listening to you, that have the big money, that's who they're paying attention to you. They're paying attention to you and they're getting the wrong information. They're paying attention to the celebrity and they're getting the wrong information. They're paying attention to the singer, the actor, the R&B artist. They're paying attention to the series on TV. They're paying attention to Beyonce and all these artists who have options bigger than theirs. That's who they're paying attention to. And they're finding themselves, patterning themselves in terms of how they behave, how they carry themselves, how they dress. They're patterning themselves after the people that they're listening to, but they're listening to people who have bigger options. Who the hell is listening to an average $31,000 to $32,000 a year, at best $37,000 a year black woman that has any goddamn thing to say? Ladies, pay attention. Who's listening to that woman? Nobody. Who are you listening to? You're listening to the television. You're listening to the media. You're not listening to people on your level. You're not. And it's setting you up for failure. It's the reason why you're walking away from your own marriages. It's the reason why you're walking away from your own relationships. It's the reason why you have bad behavior. It's the reason why you're not fit. It's the reason why you're not feminine. It's the reason why you're not friendly. It's the reason why you're combative. It's the reason why you're confrontational. It's the reason why you're not a good experience. It's the reason why you're by yourself. Get mad at me all you want. The stats, the facts, and the data does not lie. But you lie to yourself constantly, thinking that things are going to change without any work on your behalf. The stats, the data does not lie. The facts does not lie, ladies. It is what it is. But you lie to yourself, thinking that you can continue in the same way that you're continuing in relationships and think you're going to get different results. You're not. Black woman, you're losing. You're losing. You're losing. And you're losing your men. You're losing good men that want you because you've sold your soul to the narrative that you don't need a man. And the only thing that a man represents to you is a utility, not a significant, important, valuable resource in your life. You are losing your men. You're losing them. Again, this stream is for those that care about that. For those of you that don't, like I said, I'm not talking to you. In fact, I was never talking to you from the beginning of the stream since it started. If that's your thought process, I was never talking to you. Ever talking to you. And like I said before, if you're a member on my group and you don't care about the talking points that I say, dismembership yourself. Just dismembership yourself. It's okay. You won't be missed. I want results. I want to see something different in our black community. I want to see a different outcome in our community. We're running out of time. We're running out of time. Everywhere you go, you see billboards that's advertising for divorce. I'm not talking to you like I'm some saint that is not a victim of the same issues and problems that I talk about. I know what that is. I know what that is. But I want to see something different come forward for us in our community in the future. These talking points is not about bashing black women. You heard me say it earlier in the beginning of the stream. It's not about bashing black women. No, man. It's not. I personally love black women. I do. I love black women. I love my black woman. But black women as a whole, we have a problem. Ladies, you got a problem. You got a problem. And it's reflective not only in your own personal life, but it's reflective in your own community, and it's reflective with your daughters. If you have daughters, it's reflecting in your daughters. Your condition is being reflected in your daughters. Pay attention to what's being reflected in your own personal household. Pay attention. Don't get mad, get better. Pay attention. Your daughters, your nieces, your granddaughters, they are a direct reflection of dysfunction as it relates to a woman. They are being made and groomed to be unmarriageable, to where they're of no use except for sex. Pay attention. Pay attention to what's right in front of you in your own house. Pay attention. Don't get mad at me saying it. Get better. Don't get mad at me saying it. Just get better. Or pay the price. Or pay the price. Ladies, many of you are already paying the price. You're already paying the price right today. You're paying the price of bad behavior. You're paying the price of bad decisions. You're paying the price. Why are you putting your daughters through the same consequences that you had to go through yourself? Why are you being so quiet? Get your house in order, man, with your daughters. Get it in order. Get it in order so that we can save what's going forward into the future. And we can drop the stats. So we can drop the stats. Because the daughters that you have, they're not included in the stats. When I said 1 in 4 will marry in a lifetime and 3 will die alone. Your daughters are not included in those stats. Ladies, they're not included in those stats, but they will be if you don't get busy. If you don't get busy right now, get busy. Start paying attention to your daughters. You know they're right in front of you. You know they're not dressing properly. You know they're dressing scantily right in front of you. You know it. Stop acting like you don't see it. Stop acting like you don't see that belly piercing on their stomach. Stop acting like you don't see that bar in their tongue. Stop acting like you don't see their bodies and their attitude being transformed right in front of your own eyes. Stop pretending you don't see it and do something about it. I don't care if you are single as a single parent. You know why you're a single parent. Take some accountability there and don't make your daughters repeat what you did. Come on, ladies. SWAT team effect. It affected you, and now it's affecting your daughter. Let's do it. We can change this. We can turn this around. These talking points may not change today, the idea and the attitude, but I promise you this. I believe in time, if you ladies, like you've heard me say in previous streams, if you start talking to one another the way you talk to one another anyway, about nothing, about nonsense, stupidity, gossip, change that conversation and start talking to one another about what can help you both get to the next level productively as it relates to relationships, as it relates to your own decisions that you make going forward. That way you don't keep making the same bad decisions. If you ladies start talking that way, you'll help the conversation go further to the next level so much faster. So much faster. The condition is what it is because you guys have talked to one another. You've talked to one another to push the narrative up to this point. Now you have to talk to each other about something different to push the narrative and change the trajectory of the idea as it relates to relationships and marriage. And we can fix our community, because I tell you, I know all of you that are listening to this stream, you know in your own personal community, you know that wherever you walk, you know you see relationships walking up and down the street. You know you see the Latino community with their children and with their wives walking up and down the street. You know you see it. You see it everywhere you go. But I want you to count on your hand how many times you see a black family doing that. How many places that you travel, I don't care what town you travel to, how many places and how many towns and how many streets, avenues, boulevards that you travel down and up and through, do you see black families walking hand in hand, husband and wife, and you don't have to know whether they're married or not. But say if it's a boyfriend and a girlfriend, but he's walking with his girlfriend, let's use that figuratively, with his children. Do you see that? You know you don't see that. You don't see it anywhere. I'll tell you what you do see. You see hot girl summer. From every black woman on every block, every town and every city. You see hot girl summer. And they're oblivious to the fact that winter is coming. Winter's coming. In fact, winter's here. I thank all of you for getting on the stream tonight. I'm your host, Charles Chambliss, the host of Let's Talk About It. You see the stream, the SWAT effect. Special women and tactics. What is your tactic, ladies, to change the trajectory of where our whole community is going and where you're going right now in your current personal life? What tactics are you putting in place? I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Again, I thank you all for getting on the stream tonight. I am your host, Charles Chambliss. Let's talk about it. I thank you for getting on the stream tonight. Have a great night, guys. And enjoy yourself tomorrow. Enjoy your day tomorrow. God bless.